Hey Tekken players, hope you're all doing well. So this is a very quick one and it's for pool players. This was the most requested comment or question under my pool combo guide, which is how do you land the quarter circle 1 after, well, basically as your pickup. Now you can do this after down forward 2, you can do this after hop kick, and you can do this after quarter circle forward 1. So elephant in the room, as you can see, I'm using my budget mix box for this. Now you can do this on pad, and I have done it on pad, but I'll just be blunt, it's way easier with keyboard because it's just easier to do really fast quarter circle inputs when you've got the keys, because you can just roll it off like this. It's just easier. So that's how I'm going to show you to do it now. Now very quickly, if you find this hard, don't feel bad. This is up there with landing electrics in terms of timing, and I'll explain why. So I'll try to now see if we can do this consistently. Okay, 1, missed, 2, 3, there we go. So you can see that I can, when I'm warmed up, I can do this reasonably consistently. By the way, this is the hardest one to do, it's after quarter circle 1. And I'll show you where you're going wrong and how to improve on this. We'll just try one more time. There we go. So let me explain first of all why this is difficult to do, and that will also explain how to do it more consistently. So the reason why it's difficult to do is because normally Tekken is very lenient with your inputs. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate this now with Mr. Feng Wei here. So I'm going to get Feng to do a move which is launch punishable, and I'm going to launch him with down forward 2. Okay, now notice, watch my command input and my fingers and just see how much I can mash this. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, as soon as I block the second hit, I can start mashing away down forward 2 and I'll get the punish in time. Okay, so if I could just get Mr. Feng to stop doing that. Oops. Sorry, all my buttons are different on this. Okay, now the reason why we can do that, as I say, is because in that move we can buffer, because it's a standard move. So in Tekken you can buffer more or less, any move. Now the exception for this is any moves that come from a stance, because when you're in a stance you have to go into the stance first before you can then do the move. Okay, so by definition you can't buffer it. This is why trying to block punish with electrics is so hard, because electric comes from a stance, which is the wave dash stance. Okay. So that's why, it's really, in theory, Kazuya can launch punish, minus 14 moves. In reality, you have to be godlike to be able to do that. It's the same situation here for Paul, because to do the quarter circle 1, we're doing it from a stance. This is his crouch dash stance. It's like his sway. Sway goes backwards. This goes forwards. Okay, and you'll know from this stance we can do his best move. You all know it. Okay, but we also we do the quarter circle 1. Okay, so hope that all makes sense. So far so good. So this is why I'll show you now. This is why if you try to launch with down forward 2 and just try to mash the quarter circle forward 1 as fast as possible, you'll get this. Oops. See? Notice my command history? I am doing it correctly, but I'm not actually, it's not registering. The reason why is because I'm going too early. So that first part of the quarter circle forward is not being registered because I'm still in the recovery from down forward 2. Okay, so that's the reason why. So let me show you basically how to be able to see what this looks like. Okay, so what you need to do in your display settings, you need to go into your player frame info. Okay, and just set this to simple display. Now this will show you the recovery of the move. So basically, when Paul stops being blue, he has recovered. So it looks like this. See? Goes white during the launch, goes blue, and then stops. Okay, now when he stops being blue, that's when you need to enter the quarter circle forward 1. And you see there, you've hardly got any time between him being recovered and Feng hitting the ground. Oops, misinput there. So that's your timing. It's too early. Landed it. You see? Too slow. Landed. Okay. So what I would suggest you do to practice this is just do this with the, as I said, with this display on so you can see visually when you can start to input it. Okay, so you look for when Paul stops being blue. Too slow. And did I mention this is hard? But that's the general idea. And when you kind of confirm what it looks like this way, you can then progress to doing it with this frame display off. It's kind of the cue to tell is, if you notice, it's basically after Paul has done the down forward 2 and his arm goes back down, you'll notice that's when it's recovered. If you watch his arm, oops, see, as soon as his arm goes back to that stance neutral, you know he's recovered. So if you don't have, so that's basically when you're, you know, getting used to this in game when you haven't got the display on. That's the tell. It's exactly the same for the other moves you do this from. So if you do it from a hop kick, you see when he's recovered there. Oops. If I can actually reset, there we go. Too early, you see. Too early. You get an idea of just how tricky this is. So I kind of got the timing down for down forward 2. I haven't practiced hop kicks in a while, which is why I'm not landing them. There we go. See? Tricky to do that. And it's the same for quad circle forward 1. You see, you have hardly any time to land. This is why it's really tricky. One of the hardest combos to do in the game is, I believe you can do, help me out, proper ball mates, I believe you can do 4 lots of quad circle forward 1 in a row. The first 2 are hard enough, as you can see. So these 2 are hard enough to do, as you can see. I can't do them now, but to do the final 2, you literally have to be frame perfect, both in terms of when you input them and then when you do the next one. So it is, you know, it's up there with trying to land taunt jet uppers and pivot electrics. But if you want to give it a go, then feel free. So basically, now once we've got our sort of timing down, let's turn this display off. Hide that. Okay, so now it's just a case of practicing the timing. And like I said, it's more of a delay than you realise. You're better off trying to, what I would suggest you do is try to learn to do quad circle forward as fast as possible. This is where, if you have a keyboard, it's much easier. So then you can basically not rush the input in terms of waiting for the recovery to happen. That was me doing too early. That's me doing a miss input. Apparently I can't land a down forward 2 because I'm recording. Etc, etc, etc. I'm doing Tekken 7 combos. I've got that stuck in my head, unfortunately. See, while I'm messing this up, this is important to see. So if you look in your, if you're getting down forward 1, if you look in your command history, you can see there that the reason why I'm getting down forward 1 is because I'm putting the 1 in too early. If you notice on those arrows, you see that I'm doing down, forward, and then rather than getting to forward, I'm actually hitting it too early, because you see I get a down forward 1. So it does help to kind of keep your command history open. Okay, something like that. So it does take practice, but that is the key. It's getting this timing in your head of knowing, okay, you do not enter the quad circle forward 1 until he's recovered, and that just takes practice. And like I said, if you have a device like a keyboard where you can do quad circle forward 1s much more easily, then that's the way to go. Okay, so let's see if we can do this final time. Again, so we check our command history. What went wrong there? You can see I did the input correctly, but I got a jab, so that means that I put it in too soon. Okay, correct input, but whiffed, so it means I went too late. And this is what you have to do to practice this timing. Okay. So this is why it's so tricky to do, because not only have you got to be fast, you've also got to be accurate, and in Tekken that's really hard. But I hope that helps you guys. I want to see if I can nail this. I'll do 3 more attempts for you. Okay, unfortunately not. I need to practice that one more. I find out of all of them, the down forward 2 is probably the easiest, so I would start there tried to get that timing down. The hop kicks the second, and then this you see by my messing up. This is probably the hardest. There we go. Landed it, missed the second bit, but you get the general picture. So I hope it helped you guys. Let me know if you want any other sort of tutorials like this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.